we know this it's definitely going to be an interesting free agency, like heading into spring training and all of that. But is there a team, maybe the Royals comes to mind, but another team that maybe is going to surprise a lot of people and do some of these late big-ish signings before the season starts?
It's a good question. The team that immediately comes to my mind, I don't know if this is a surprise or not. So if like this does not suffice, then
You're
I
not
can come
really
up
good
with
with like the surprise stuff. Like you think the Phillies are going to do well this season, Robert. So I don't know.
Yeah, yeah. The Phillies. Sources tell me the Atlanta Braves are going to be good this year too. So
What?
look at that. Whoa!
I
Breaking
hope we
news.
were recording that. I hope we were recording that.
Oh my, yeah. That's only the.
That's going to come from this podcast, Robert.
I'm telling you, all the aggregators are going to feast on that one. Oh, we
Yeah.
love it. But I'll tell you, the do the Giants count?
I think they do. Yeah.
Yeah, considering like their lack of spending in previous off seasons, I think it would not surprise me if they ended up leaving the offseason with a Matt Chapman type and maybe an Imanaga. I think possibly those two could make their offseason become a success. I don't expect the Giants to be able to have enough money to sign like a guy like Blake Snell and Matt Chapman. I also wonder too about the potential fit between the Giants and Snell, just because his walk rate is pretty high, and I know, I know that Farhan Zaidi's been hesitant to spend in players like that in the past, but I think the Giants could definitely spend more than people are really expecting, I guess, or they have the potential to do that, I guess. Another one, I'll give you another one too, because this is no exaggeration when I say this, Jess. I have had hundreds upon hundreds of people, whether it's on my podcast, whether it's on Twitter. I even have a Discord channel where people have like exclusive access to me. And I hear this phrase every day that Jed Hoyer is hibernating. It's hibernation Hoyer. Like Jed is sleeping. Like
I was going to ask you about the Cubs. Yeah.
Yeah. And I think like people need to be patient there. And there's so many things that the Cubs can still do because free agency really hasn't gotten started yet. And Matt Chapman makes sense for them. Cody Bellinger makes sense. I even think Josh Hader makes sense because he has familiarity with Craig Counsell from their time in Milwaukee. The Cubs could use a high-end reliever like that. They have plenty of money to spend. And there's a lot of other things they can do too. I think a guy like Brent Suter makes a whole lot of sense for them as well. And yeah, it's just there's so many different things that the Cubs can do. They when they hired Craig Counsell and gave him that record-breaking contract, it was not so they could stand pat in free agency. Like that was just not what they were going to do. Like obviously they're the last team to make a free agent or major league roster addition via trade or free agency. They haven't done that yet. But Jed Hoyer is not hibernating. I can confidently say that. He is not sleeping. He is having conversations with other teams and other agents trying to improve that roster. And before long, he's going to do that. The prices are just really high at this point, and I can't blame him for not wanting to overspend. But when the right opportunities present themselves, he is going to strike, and that team is going to be probably the lead contender in the National League Central next year.
He's not the only one sleeping either. Let's just I will say though, when you hire Craig Counsell, throw all that money at a manager and then crickets, that does look a little weird, but I understand everybody's doing it, right?
Oh yeah. Yeah. But it's like, I even had someone on my podcast yesterday say that Andrew Friedman is hibernating. And I'm like, he spent $1 billion. And it's people, we need to be patient this offseason.
If he's hiding, what's going on?
Yeah, it's crazy. And it's
he hasn't done shit this offseason. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, he hasn't done shit this entire week. What the absolute heck is going on here? It's crazy. But this offseason really needs to teach us patience because it's been pretty painful just texting people and not really nothing happening. I mean, obviously I'm able to keep conversations going, but like you have so many different people asking you in baseball, whether it's executives or agents or even players are asking like, what are you hearing? And I'm like, there's really nothing going on right now in terms of signings, but I expect next week, that's when the dam is going to break. I feel pretty, well, I shouldn't say I feel pretty confident in that, but I think there's a real shot that happens, and then it's just going to be a free for all. But maybe the Boris players just linger in the market a little bit longer.
Yeah, he's definitely that guy to take his time. So okay, cool. Then we're all not going crazy. Nobody's
No.
sleeping. We just gotta, we have patience. Gotta have patience. But don't like feed the delulu in us where it's like, oh, he's still interested in us, but he's just not texting us back right away. Don't tell the girls. Don't tell the
I'll
girls
tell you.
that. He's just these front office guys just aren't that into you, is what it ultimately comes down
Boy,
to.
I'll tell you, it's like it's great. Like at times, the baseball can feel like high school and how much gossip there is behind the scenes, and at other times in the off season, especially, it can feel like the dating scene. It's crazy. I will say I am very ready for all these conversations to turn into deals, so I can drop some big ones. I will say, I am working on one of the biggest scoops of my career, and I think I have a very good chance of breaking it. So it's
I'm
not
so
like
happy for you.
not imminent. I put years of work into this one, and I'm hoping to break it. I've very rarely put the all caps breaking in it in my tweets, but I will do
Yeah.
it for this one. It's
Oh,
got
I
ourselves
wish
a
you
big
could
one.
bold tweets. I wish you could bold the breaking.
Wouldn't that be sweet?
Oh, you deserve that, Robert. You
Oh,
deserve a
I
bold.
appreciate you. I'll tell you, I'm hoping I break it. Hope is not a strategy. I'm going to work to break it.
I'm gonna
And
text you nice work.
wow, yeah, I was gonna try to make a John Heyman joke in there, but hey, no, I'll tell you, you doing that would mean more than anything. I would freaking love that.